Alright, this is Beyond Good and Evil for the PS5. And I've never played this game before. That's right. I remember this game when it came out. I remember seeing it. I think I had a demo of it on a Maximum PC demo disc from back in the day. But I couldn't get it running or something like that. So it's a game I had seen, I had heard of, I had heard good things about. I had heard that it had pretty good graphics for the time. Although, to be honest, I thought this game was older than it was. I thought this game came out in like the late 90s. That's how I was remembering it. So I was like super impressed with how good this game looked for the time. And then kind of had to pull that back a little bit when I realized that this game came out in 2003. Not to say it's not a good looking game for its time, but it's maybe not as groundbreaking as I thought. I thought this was like a PC game first. I thought this game came out on PC first, and I thought it was one of those games like you needed a hardware TNL GPU to run, something along the lines of like Max Payne, which was really pushing the absolute next gen graphics for its time. But yeah, not as old as I thought, so I don't know. Kind of a weird thing there, but anyways, forget all that. It doesn't really matter. I love this game, and that's what matters. This is a classic like third-person action adventure game. It really reminds me in a lot of ways of Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube, which is a game that wasn't super popular, but I loved. And some of the complaints with this game, I think, are maybe similar to some of the faults in that game, mainly the combat. The combat's very simple, very repetitive. Basically, just mash the action button and you'll make your way through any action fight scene. But that's okay with me. The simple action's fine. As you can see, it looks great on the PS5. It is running at native 4K, 60 frames per second, and it pretty much maintains 60 frames per second most of the time. It might drop a little bit under some heavy fight scenes. If you don't like that, you can put it in performance mode, and it'll run at 60 frames per second all the time. But I didn't bother doing that. I just left it at the default, graphics mode, I guess. The storyline, you're playing as this girl named Jade, and she lives in a tree with a bunch of these children. I guess their parents have gone missing or considered KIA. In action, we learn in this world that they're at war. And things aren't exactly what they seem. There's a lot of kind of conspiracies going on. Don't trust the government. Don't trust what they tell you on the news. And how fitting. It's almost relevant today. It's a pretty neat story. And your character, she's got a camera with her. She's a reporter. Is the main thing going on in the storyline, and she wants to investigate everything that's going on. And so you gotta use your camera to like take pictures of things. Like you need evidence that you're sending to this sort of like this underground, sort of like a rebel alliance that's fighting the government. And you have to take photos to get evidence, and you send those to this resistance leader that tells you what she wants you to take pictures of. You can also take pictures of enemies, and anytime you encounter a new, not just enemies, any life form in the game. So there might just be like, I don't know, birds chilling out or bugs chilling out in the background, and you can take a picture of them. And any new like species that you've never taken a picture of before, you get paid for your pictures. And then you kind of unlock new new abilities and like upgrades for your camera as you I think it's like every 10 new species that you find. So that's a part of the game. A big part of the game, I guess, is the camera and taking pictures of things, and you can zoom in and out with the camera. But yeah, I mostly just really like the storyline. I like the action adventure style of this game. I don't mind the combat being simple. Again, to me, this game reminds me a lot of Star Fox Adventures, and I really liked Star Fox Adventures. One cool thing in this game is you've got a boat, so like you're kind of exploring the world on the water. It looks really cool when you're on the water, and they've got like the screen space reflections on the water. Again, for 2003, that would have looked pretty cool. The fact I thought this game came out in the late 90s, just ignore that. Once you see this game on the open water, it looks really good. Even for 2003, this would have been a good looking game. I always thought this game was on PC first, and then, oh, maybe there was like a GameCube port. But no, this game came out on PS2 first, and then Windows, and then Xbox, and then GameCube. So, yeah, there was a remaster released for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in 2011. So I guess, in a way, this is a remaster of a remaster. It's more just like an upscaled thing, but there is some, I guess some of the models have been slightly changed, but it's not like a whole full-blown, like, reboot. I'm not even sure what made me, like, I know I saw the Digital Foundry sort of like little review, mini review, kind of initial look at this game on PS5, and I thought, it looks good. And I was like, yeah, I do remember that game. I remember hearing good things about that game back in the day, but I never played it. And then I guess it really helped that it's cheap. It was like $10 or something. Really not expensive. So, I don't know. It might be, if you have like PSN, maybe you get this for free. Maybe you will at some point, I'm not sure. But even just to buy this game straight up, it was like super cheap. So I was like, yeah, it's cheap. It looks pretty great on the PS5. I haven't really played my PS5 much, to be honest. And so I was like, yeah, I'm buying this right now. And yeah, so glad I did. This, again, this could go down as one of my favorite action-adventure games, modern 3D, third-person at least. I know I keep comparing it to Star Fox Adventure. I guess you could compare it to Zelda. It's kind of like a slightly, it's a Zelda Lite. It's got some puzzles, sometimes moving around boxes or figuring out how to get through a room. It's got some Zelda-like puzzles. You have to collect heart pieces to increase your life. But, you know, combat's maybe not as hard as Zelda. It's a Zelda Lite. Again, very much like Star Fox Adventures. But, you know, beyond just finding some of the puzzles, there is also some stealth elements. So, yeah, maybe, you know, stealth was kind of a big thing at the time in Metal Gear Solid and Thief. And so a lot of games were trying to implement some sort of stealth sections. But again, they're kind of simple, they're kind of fun, and nothing too serious. There's boat racing. You gotta upgrade your boat. So you gotta buy parts for your boat to upgrade your boat, and add weapons to your boat, or you can eventually get the ability for the boat to jump in the water, which can get you over some obstacles. So yeah, you gotta upgrade your boat, and then you've got to upgrade your boat for racing. The racing just gets you, like, basically money, I guess, but there's also some parts in the game where you need the boat, again, to progress to the next part of the game. So, yeah. Boss fights are pretty much like, again, kind of like a Zelda Lite. The enemies will have their weak spots, and you've got to figure out sometimes how to beat the enemy, but yeah, nothing too hard. And again, that's fine with me. The game is fun, and I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it, but I love Star Fox Adventures, and I think if you like Zelda games, and you're okay with maybe, again, kind of like a Zelda Lite, a little bit sort of a little easier of a Zelda game, Definitely check this out. And if you like Star Fox Adventures, you're gonna love this game, in my opinion. So, yeah, super glad I checked it out again, kind of on a whim, but it's super cheap to just buy. And having never played the game before, I just thought it was like the perfect time to try it out. And yeah, glad I did. So, Beyond Good and Evil, definitely check it out if you haven't. And I guess that's it. See you guys later.
No juice.